Bentornati! Welcome back to Dwarf Fortress. It's the early summer of the year 250 and the Dwarves of the High Standards bid you welcome in Katdiriton Oltaristrath, Glimmerhall, the Gilded Jewel. First of all, let me thank you from the deepest part of my heart, all of you that viewed and liked and commented on the first video of this fortress. This is a really small channel. For a video especially for an episode 1, to get something like 1500 views in a few days, it's amazing. And I'm gonna try and do my best to be consistent about this. I love Dwarf Fortress. It is, however, let me say, a very challenging game to both play and record and narrate, and I definitely do not feel at the same level of somebody like Smash, for example. I do not have that charisma, I do not have that ability to narrate and to, well, in some cases make up stories, because while Dwarf Fortress is amazing, it does have some limitations. You do have to fill in some of the details, especially if you want to get to that level. But what I'm gonna do instead, I think, I'm gonna try and leverage what I think I can do, which is more of the explaining / planning and like exploiting like the mechanics of the game. My intent is not going to be like too cheaty in quotes, even though, you know, dwarven ingenuity can explain even stuff like quantum stockpiles. If you have no idea what that means, don't worry about it. But I am gonna try and use the mechanics of the game in a clever way. And I'm gonna try and explain what I do. It's not exactly a tutorial, but if you already maybe played or tried to play once or twice, following through may give you an idea of what to do next. Okay, that said, let's get into it. I've been planning a lot. Let's say that the dwarves of the high standards have been planning a lot, because they have this grand idea about this fortress that starts with a big round hole in the ground and goes down, 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 etc, etc, etc. So let me explain what all these weird shapes mean in my plans. Okay, you might remember that we start with this round hole. Unfortunately, I can't really zoom. Okay, it's difficult to center the view. And yeah, we start with this ramp going down. It goes down several levels until you come in here, and this is gonna be a bridge. These flashy bits are gonna be dug out, so that in here this is gonna be void going down. Okay, so this is gonna be a bridge, a suspended bridge. We're gonna have our trade depot in here. There's gonna be a few rooms around here for the purpose of maybe storing goods, waiting for traders to get in, okay? So that we have them ready in here. Let's say that these are, I don't know, goblets that have already been decorated and encrusted with gems. So we store them in here so that they are not used for anything else, and they're just waiting for the traders to come so that we can bring them to the depot. What are these other hallways? The idea is, at some point I may get invaded or sieged, and from here, like in here, we could carve fortifications in the wall, and some crossbow dwarves could shoot at goblins or invaders of any sort coming through the bridge. Okay, the whole idea, by the way, of the hole and the bridge, it's kind of dangerous on its own, so I'm not gonna do that all the time. I'm gonna try and do that sparingly. The main defense of the entire fortress will be instead something that you can see up here. This corridor is meant to be used by military dwarves. There's stairs in here that can follow going up. These stairs open up on small room that are gonna be sealed with drawbridges, and this expert dwarven engineers might recognize This is a death trap, death maze, or death hallway. It's basically a winding path that is connected to the outside through this small room that has a totally different function, and I'm gonna explain in a minute. But basically, yeah, this is gonna be open to the outside. So when danger arrives, and assuming I don't want danger to come through the main fortress, I'm gonna seal this area. In the future, this is gonna all be sealed up, so nobody will be able to pass through this downwards slope, but they're gonna see this, and they're gonna think, okay, this is a side entrance. Basically, the pathing algorithm will trace this path as a viable entry. The thing, though, what they're gonna find is that this winding path is gonna be full with all manners of traps and dangers of any sort. So boulder traps, weapon traps, cage traps, etc., etc. These other rooms are going to be used maybe for to add a second level of danger to the whole thing. I mean, danger to our enemies, which is I'm going to be able to station dwarves behind a closed drawbridge, so it's something that basically acts as an indestructible wall at that point. And let's say while goblins, let's say, are going through this, and maybe some of them are going are falling on the traps, some may still survive. And when they arrive in here, I may have like 4 or 5 very beefy dwarven soldiers. I'm gonna bring down the bridge, and those already wounded goblins are gonna get surprised by the dwarves, which in my mind, I hope, are gonna make short work of them. Okay, so this is the whole idea around my main defenses, right? How is the life gonna be in this fortress, right? This is gonna be the main entrance for trade, but then the real entrance is this one, and there is this side stairway. These are up-down stairs. Up in here, this is gonna be kitchens, stills, farms, and other such things. So everything related to farming, agriculture, animals, and stuff like that. This goes up another layer. This is smaller. This small room will just be probably a stockpile of some sort, but this will open in a room that is gonna be dug out from up above. The reason for that is that when you dig from ground level going down, basically this level will be a room exposed to the sun, which makes it above ground technically, which means that you can grow above ground crops in there. However, we can still put a bridge over it, or even just construct flooring over it, so it's gonna be sealed. For all intents and purposes, enemies are not gonna be able to just jump into it, okay? But still, since it's gonna be a constructed ceiling to it, this is gonna still allow us to grow stuff like cotton or hemp or zucchini or anything like that, right? So that's another part of the plan. So I don't know, this might be our starting farm, and in here we might have a kitchen with an input stockpile, an output stockpile, and all these sorts of things, okay? And this might be the still, same deal, input stockpile, output stockpile, farmer's workshop with a quern, and maybe a butcher with leather worker. Actually, butcher with tanner. And this pattern is repeatable. I can go this way and extend this hallway and have more rooms up and down. I should say north and south of the hall, and have more such workshops. Okay. Now this top floor is not that, let's say, repeatable. We can still extend. We can even make use of this layer, to be honest, and even this layer. This is still soil, if I remember correctly. Okay, to look. Yes, this is silty clay. We can still have farms in here. So I'm leaving ample room for expansion. So that's the entire, food area, let's say. We go down and we abandon this shaft, let's say. Actually, let me make this clear by replacing this plan of up-down stairways with just up stairways. This means these stairways go up, they cannot go down, okay? Because there's something totally different downstairs. So now we instead have this hallway that gets to here. This is the exact center of the pit, of the big pit that is the center of our fortress, okay? Now this is gonna be the stairway, the central stairway, the main artery of our fortress. So this goes down and we have a first main floor. This floor, I think I designated it as my woodworks. So, by the way, I am absolutely not gonna dig all of this at once, because this is crazy. This is gonna take years in Dwarven time, okay? Years and years worth of digging. So we will definitely dig portions of this master plan piecemeal, okay? But the idea is to have ample room for a bunch of workshops. So this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 workshops with space in between for stockpiles. This again could be one workshop with a lot of room, because maybe this is going to be, I don't know, a jeweler. No, wait, I said woodworks, so this could be the main carpenter, this could be the main woodworkers, and maybe some of these will be reserved just to master, to legendary craftsmen, and have ample room. Maybe one of these rooms is gonna have 2 or 3 workshops devoted to low-level crafts, like, I don't know, step ladders and wheelbarrows and something like that, or crutches and splints, okay? Again, ample room, and also room for more development, because you can take this pattern here, for example, and replicate it on the side. And same thing, north, east, west, etc. We go down 2 levels. Oh, and by the way, sorry, the flashy part, again, this is gonna be a pit with 2 bridges, and I'm gonna alternate a bridge going north to south, and then 2 layers below, east to west, okay? In between I did not designate, but this is gonna be all empty space. All of this empty space, okay? So we go down again, similar pattern, only difference is that the bridge goes left to right, so east to west, as opposed to north to south. This is gonna be the stoneworks, okay? So this will be mason, stone craftsmanship, craftdwarfship, and maybe also gem setting and gem cutting and stuff like that. I could go ahead and designate another entire layer like that, maybe for metals, one for cloth and leather. I'm not going to, because again, even just this is gonna take a long time, so most probably this first layer at the beginning will have all the industries, right? And then at some point we will move them here and there. Or maybe I can dig maybe just this portion and then this portion, etc., right? We go down again. We're at level 124 in here. By the way, if I go, I've set up, if you don't know this, you can press capital H, so Shift H. What is that? Oh, I was in designation mode. So exit designation mode, then Shift H. This is the definition of our hotkeys, okay? So F1 to F8 are hotkeys that you can use to zoom in particular places. So I set up F1 as the gate, F2 is the kitchen, then depot, woodworks, stoneworks, residence, and meeting area, okay? So if I press F1, This is the main gate to mean the entrance, okay? F2 is kitchens, trade depot, again, woodworks, stoneworks, residence, residential area, okay? Again, I try to work on a repeatable pattern. East-west bridges, and we're gonna have big 3x3 rooms for important dwarves. Not nobles yet. Nobles are gonna go somewhere else entirely, but important dwarves, legendary craftsmen. The first 7 I'm gonna consider important dwarves. I want them to be happy, so big rooms. They're gonna be able to have furniture and stash things, etc. This pattern here, repeatable north and south, 4x4 room, which is still pretty big, okay? I'm treating my dwarves pretty well here. A 4x4 room can keep a dwarf pretty happy because they can easily have a bed, a cabinet, and a chest in there. So it's like 3 pieces of furniture plus the door, plus the room can be smooth and engraved. So all these dwarves, if I manage to construct all of this, they are basically all feel like nobles in a sense. These rooms in here could act like offices of some sort, or even more rooms, spare rooms for other dwarves. Then downstairs again, a few empty spaces to be decided, and we get in our meeting area. Okay, this is going to be our grand meeting hall. The idea is that you arrive, you pass on this bridge. This could be an area where to put like a few statues or something like that, or maybe access to, I don't know, there could be, I'm just thinking, food stockpiles, but those could even be somewhere else. And this designation, as opposed to this one, this means channel down, so the entire room will eventually be on 2 levels. So you're arriving here, this is going to be ramps going down. This is going to be empty space where you arrive here. Imagine you're standing here and you're looking at the hall that goes down. Like you kind of have to descend stairs, right? Going down, and here you're gonna have dwarves and tables and chairs and merrymaking, people eating and laughing and all sorts of things. This, on the other end of the room, could be a raised dais, so to speak, because it's not designated, but you have to imagine when this is channeled, the floor will be on the level below, on this level, where nothing is visible at the moment. But so basically this will be 1 step above the clan folk, the lay dwarves, so to speak, and there could be a throne in here. I don't know exactly how that's gonna work, especially because I don't remember if you can extend the designation of a room, like a designated room, if it can extend on multiple Z levels. If it can, good. I mean, this is big enough that it can function as a throne room and a meeting hall at the same time. Otherwise, I think it's still good, because if a throne is on this level and this is empty space, it will still count all of this as a very big room. It's not gonna have a lot of, let's say, floor to engrave, but we can still, let's say that instead of having these as pillars, we have them as pillars in the level below, but then these are like pedestals for statues. We could have beautiful masterwork statues, 7 and 7, and then we could also engrave the walls all around, right? So this could still be an incredible throne room, and then the room below, so all this big area, can still be a very, very fantastic dining room / meeting hall. And all the rest in here, organically, whenever we see fit, we may go in and dig guild halls, statue gardens, libraries, and anything like that, stuff of that sort. So anything that involves meeting and getting together and chatting and speaking and knowledge, so guild halls and stuff like that. There you go. Again, a few levels below, let me recenter the view. This is our waterworks. I don't have a designation, not designation, I don't have a hotkey for this, so I'm gonna do Shift H and I'm gonna say F8. So as you see, hotkey 8 gets highlighted. I press Z, which means, yeah, zoom here. So associate F8 with this position. Then I'm gonna hit N to give it a name, and this is gonna be the waterworks. Enter. Okay, so let's try it. F1, we go upstairs. F8, the waterworks. The waterworks means there's gonna be water here, but also everything that makes use of water. So this is gonna be a well. The most experienced of you might have already understood that. If you have a room of some sort with one hole in the middle, that's the place for your well. Under the hole for the well, of course, you need a cistern, a water reservoir of some sort. And this water reservoir needs to be at the very least 2 levels of full water tiles. Because if you have just one level with ground below, that water is gonna count as murky, and if and only if the dwarves will have to drink water for some reason, drinking murky water is not as good. Although murky water is only at the very bottom, so this is a channel designation, so this will dig this and also the level below. So this is really gonna be the bottom level of the reservoir. At this level, the water will be murky. At this level, and this, okay, it's gonna be clear water, so good water for the dwarves to drink and to draw from the well. By the way, the well is also useful because you can clean wounds with clean water, and that's why on this level we also have a space for a fairly big hospital. So the idea is that in and around here, this is just a temporary design, I'm not entirely convinced with this, but these could be beds for dwarves that need rest and like wound treatment and stuff, and these more or less designated like areas could be imagine anatomical theaters, like in the old days where doctors used to operate with a lot of people looking. So yeah, so this could be 2 tables for doing surgical procedures, let's call them like that. Anyway, temporary design, but this is gonna be our hospital area. I'm gonna get to this complicated thing in a second. This is gonna be a pool, because dwarves, apparently, I don't remember if I ever got this to work properly, but if you give them access to a soap stockpile close to standing water, and this designation here, that this is gonna be filled with water, they will go and clean themselves, and they're gonna be really happy. They're gonna fondly remember having a bubbly, soapy bath. So I'm gonna try and do that. I'm gonna have this maybe double as a pool and statue garden, so that they can also like admire very, very nice statues and stuff like that. And also the entire thing is gonna be smooth and engraved, etc., etc. Now, how is gonna water come down here? This complicated thing. Let's try and get it from the very beginning. So let's get upstairs. do you remember this entrance? This leads to this room. Now, this path is the death maze path. There's gonna be some way to seal this corridor here, because this is gonna be our main water pipe. This is gonna be the entrance pipe for our waterworks. So this works the following way. Dwarves are gonna dig these. Let me zoom in a little bit so that I maybe can explain better. Okay, so dwarves are gonna dig this corridor, right? I'm not gonna ask a dwarf to dig this tile, because water moves very quickly. So that dwarf is gonna be, you know, thrown again on the other side of the corridor, and they may very well drown. Instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dig up to here, then I'm gonna vacate, you know, any dwarves from the site, close this, and then I'm gonna channel this from up above. So it's gonna be like the H. You do this. This is of course in planning mode. Nobody's gonna do that until I switch to actual dig mode, right? But they can channel from above, so this tile here gets removed and water is gonna rush in here. It's gonna get to this stairwell and it's gonna go down. Water will happily flood your stairwells, and it goes down, down, and down, and down. So this is up, downstairs, right? As you can see, I left enough room in here in all the floors to let water go through. So because this is our main pipe, it goes down and down, and again goes down and down and down and down and down, and eventually arrives in this complicated thing here. This is going to be a water distribution system, okay? So water is going to arrive in here, and it's going to be pressurized water. Yes, Dwarf Fortress calculates water pressure. It's going to have all the pressure of all the Z levels that we went down, okay? However, this area is going to have exits, so pipe derivations, I don't even know how to say that, but basically the flow of water is going to get split in 8, potentially 8 ways. For now we are only using 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What was that? 4, 6, 7? Whatever. You know, planning and seeing all these 4s around, it's mind-boggling. There's a difference between these 4 and these 4. I'm gonna try and explain this, okay? Buckle up. A connection that is orthogonal, meaning that water can flow left to right, or right to left, or up down, or down up. That kind of connection in Dwarf Fortress keeps pressure. So I'm having 4 potential outlets that are pressurized. It means that water flowing through, let's say this, can also go up. So water will happily go from here, will go up and go this way, because it has several Z levels of pressure, okay? Let me remove this. These instead, since there is no orthogonal connection, but a diagonal connection, let's say with this corridor, water will flow through this, but it's gonna forget about pressure. So this water here is gonna only remember pressure from this level. And the way pressure works is that water trying to flow down here, it's never gonna get to the exact same level here. Does that make sense? So basically, this water that goes through here, it's gonna entirely fill this. It's never gonna come out of here. It's kind of counterintuitive, because if this was the real world, if this is full of water, this water will push water out of here, in a sense, right? But trust me, this is not gonna happen in Dwarf Fortress. There is a wiki page, by the way, explaining how pressure works in water and also magma pretty well. And for example, in this situation, this is a side view, okay? So this is the opposite of what you see, or the orthogonal, I should say, of what you see in the Dwarf Fortress window. So this is one Z level, this is another Z level, and another and another. This is demonstrating that water comes through here, it falls down. Let's say water is gonna level out at the level below. And the reasoning is that this is the tile that is receiving the pressure. So the first tile that is receiving the pressure, that's the tile where ultimately the level is gonna get to, okay? So water can go down and then up again, up to the level that is pressurized. Now, if you were receiving water directly from the river here has pressure on its own, so water will go all the way up to the river level. If you instead use a screw pump, so let's say that you have water here, we have a screw pump drawing water up one level. Now the screw pump is applying pressure to the same level the screw pump is built on. So in this case, this was a screw pump, water goes again all the way up to where pressure was applied. Okay, I'm gonna stop this now. This is kind of complicated. All you need to know is that, let's get back to Dwarf Fortress. This level here, the floor, it's not gonna flood. Water is gonna stop in here. Okay? So, again, water comes in here. Now these tiles here, this one, and this, they are gonna be blocked normally by floodgates. Those floodgates are gonna be operated by mechanisms and levers. The levers are gonna sit on the layer above. So from here, there's gonna be a door in here. Dwarves can get in here, go up one level, and there's gonna be a lever in here, one in here, etc., connected to these floodgates. You absolutely do not need to have levers this close to the floodgates. It just helps me remember which level is connected to which floodgate, okay? So this is just, the positioning is just to help me remember. But you could have a lever in here connected to this floodgate, no problem. The dwarves can transfer, I don't know, energy from place to place, I don't know. So this will bring unpressurized water down in the water reservoir for the well. This corridor instead brings water down and into here and into this area here, which is the pool. Again, if you're having trouble visualizing, this is a dig down designation. So this and this is going to be hollow here. And these are also dig down designation because the pool is going to have two different depths, let's say, which is going to be pretty bad for our dwarves. They may drown while bathing, maybe. If that starts happening, I might think of a way to actually not have entirely full water levels. So like in here, like you see this 7 out of 7 means the entire tile is full of water. If you have something like 3 or 4, dwarves will probably not drown in there, okay? Alright, wow, that was a lot. That is the grand plan of Glimmerhall, the Gilded Jewel. Now, how do we get there? How do we manage to realize this vision? Okay, first of all, let's turn some of this into actual orders, into actual designation. Capital M to toggle. I want these trees to not exist anymore. Okay, these trees need to be removed because I don't want their roots to make this level all messy. Okay, at the same time, I want my miners to start digging this area here. Let's go into box mode. Yes, dig this, then up this, and I want you guys to dig out all of this, because for now this will double as farm area and also food storage for now. And I want you also to dig out this, because my initial food industry is gonna be housed in here. By the way, I'm going pretty liberally in these levels with designations, because I know that this is all soil, and soil is very quick to dig. Okay, I'm not gonna be this liberal with designating stone. I'm not gonna designate anything else right now because I want them to focus on that. I may actually, look, I could switch all of this to actual orders, but what I can do is go to dig or mine, but I'm gonna say mine on a different priority. So mine on priority 7, this, and maybe actual designation. This means that they are gonna mine everything that is 4 before everything that is 7, essentially making sure that this is gonna be all dug out before they start digging this whole way and then this. When that happens, I want them to dig through this, and this. Maybe not the channeling here yet. The channeling is an important project. I want ultimately the fortress to be like that. I don't want to start with that necessarily. So yes, so this area here, it's gonna be our starting workshops in here. And for now, I'm not gonna go much further. This is already a bunch. This is already a lot to do. Then what else? We have a few commodities in here. We have food. Let's look at the stockpiles. We have 37 drinks. It's not a lot, but we can manage for a while. We will probably, not run out of drinks before we can actually build our... Actually, you know what? I can zoom in here. I'll always forget, but this makes it much more clear for you to read. So, we got a bunch of seeds, of course. We have drinks. And I was saying we'll probably be able to establish our actual still before running out of drinks. Let's look at the kitchen. We have grapes and plum helmets. Those are all for brewing. Seeds. No, don't cook seeds. Drinks don't cook with ale, but potentially cook with cave fish and mule meat. That's alright. I'm probably not gonna make actual meals right now yet. That said, I think for now there's not enough for everybody to do. I could try and designate something to do with a mason workshop. Do I even have a mason workshop? These are carpenter's workshops. Yes, I do not have a... Wait, is this a mason workshop? This is a jeweler's workshop. Metalsmith forge, craft dwarves, I need a mason's workshop. Build W M. Let's have it in here so that it's very close to that stone stockpile. Make it with avocado wood logs. Oh, and now that look, this is now very big now. Because there's 2 different levels of zoom. I'm still learning stuff in this game. It's amazing. I kind of like it like this. It's very readable. So there's a mason workshop in there now. I'm gonna have close to that a stockpile of 4 bars and blocks. That's because I want to start making a few bricks, basically stone bricks or stone blocks, right? I mean, this is also a bars and blocks stockpile. True. Okay, let's unleash the dwarves. Go, dwarves! You can now do the things. So this little guy in here is chopping wood. This is Lolor the woodcutter. Chopping wood, amazing. Let's go look at our miners. Working. Ustuth and Zutan. They're mining stairways. Stairs going up and down. And they are going up now. And they somehow prefer going up. But then also going down. Yeah, you kind of need to set up priorities, because otherwise miners are a little bit erratic. This is shale. Yes, this is all shale. Okay, and they noticed that the priority for this is 7, so they switched back to go upstairs. And as you can see, now they are breezing through this, because this is soil. And they went up again. Alright, and they are digging this. They forgot a piece in here, because then they realized that there was more to dig down here. Okay, cool. Let me look upstairs. Okay, we have the mason's workshop. What I want to say to the mason workshop is, you, mason, no, actually not from here, but this stockpile is gonna give to this mason workshop. Cool. And then I want to ask to the manager, so I go to U for units, M for the manager. I'm gonna say, hey manager, I want to always have a few stone blocks, which are basically bricks, in stock. Okay, so how do we do that? A queue for a new order, and we want rock blocks. Yes, rock blocks. You are gonna order the construction of, let's say, 7 rock blocks. Although, let's remember that this means cutting 7 boulders into blocks, which means 7 by 3, so it's 21 rock blocks. Okay, do 7. However, then I go C, conditions. Add item condition. And this is, okay, this is now checked daily. I don't want you to check daily. Plus and minus, check monthly. Monthly, you will check if amount of items, which item? I for items, block, blocks. I can even say item material, M. Can I say rock? Can I say stone? No, because this is very specific stones, so it's not material. Maybe it's traits. Change traits. So I can't say any stone. Maybe there is a way, I'm just forgetting. Okay, amount of blocks, whatever. I don't think I'm gonna make wood blocks anyway. Okay, so if the amount of blocks available is, let's change the inequality condition with Q, is less than a number that I want to be always there in the stockpile. Let's say that I always want something like 20-ish there. I say if the available amount is less than 15, let's say, so N, change number, 15. And it just checked in the stockpile numbers, and it says, well, for next checked, this would already be satisfied because there is less than 15 blocks, because we have 0 basically. Yeah, so whenever monthly the manager finds that we have less than 15 blocks available, they are gonna order the construction of 7 rock blocks, which means actually 21, because it's the cutting of 7 boulders into rock blocks, which is cool. Ask done. So construct rock blocks. Did I save the condition? Yes, it is saved automatically. I can say details if I wanted to specify the exact material of the rock blocks. I don't want to. There's no reason for it. Okay, so now my manager will work on that. It's probably already done. No, it's not. It's not. The manager is working on it. The manager needs to sit at the table to do that, I think. English, etc. Who's the manager? Somebody's sleeping, somebody's digging, somebody has no job at all. The expedition leader, Dobar, has no job. Did you do it? Yes, he did it. He went around and ordered the construction of rock blocks. So we have that, which is cool. I also probably want to start making furniture, because digging rooms and not having furniture is not good at all. I might want to make for that another mason's workshop. So build, workshop, masons, let's have that. Made of mango wood logs, why not? And then have a stockpile, especially for furniture, which is you. You is furniture. Let's have furniture around here, and quickly go to Q and say take. Let's say take from this right now, because otherwise the dwarves are gonna rush in and move. Well, they already thought about it. They rushed in and moved a bunch of furniture in there. So basically, whatevs. Let's remove that take from. Oh, because I had to also say, because there's this, will take from anywhere. If I had also tapped A, take from links only, they would probably have not done that. Yeah, so this stockpile is pretty useless also because there's a lot of logs on it. I might show you a way to take rid of unwanted items in specific places, but let's delete this link. Let's say that we want to remove these logs because they are gonna block the space of this stockpile, yes? I'm going to I, and I'm gonna designate a small spot, let's say, in here. So just one tile, okay? So this is a zone. I'm gonna say that this is a garbage dump zone with D. Garbage dump. This is now a garbage dump. Then I'm going to D for designation. Let me remove box select. Okay. It's standard designation, not marker only. And I'm going to select, I think it's D. No, it's not D. It's B for set building and item properties. And there's a sub-menu of this that has D for dump items. So wherever I'm clicking now, it's gonna designate all those items as stuff that needs to be dumped, needs to be trashed. And we have a dump area. So look at these logs. I'm gonna say this, this, this. I'm gonna paint over them with a mouse. Like this. Everything I want moved in there. Right? Then ESC. And whoever does not have a job, a bunch of dwarves are sleeping right now. They're gonna go there at some point. So, are they? Yes, this mango wood logs now has a big D. It happens. There is a D as designation for dump next to mango wood logs. Let's spell it like that. And there is a dump zone, which is this, which is active. Oh wait, I know why they're not doing it. Yeah, it's a standing order problem. So, all for orders, because this stuff is outside, and by default, dwarves do not collect trash from outside. So, O for orders, we need to change something. We need to go to, what is that? R for refuse. And O, as you can see in here, says dwarves ignore refuse from outside. O, dwarves gather refuse from outside. Unpause. Yes, the dwarves are now moving the logs. And that way they are freeing space in my furniture stockpile. Cool! Now, as you can see in here, we're starting to have blocks. These are shale blocks. Look at these. They're massive, right? These blocks are now occupying one floor tile each in this bars and blocks stockpile. I can make this better by creating bins. Bins can hold many blocks. How do we do that? Well, we ask very please and thank you, ask through the manager. We say, hey, orders. I want wooden bins, not beans, but bins. Construct wooden bins. Yes, I want you to make 4 with a condition. Add an item condition. Check monthly. I want you to make 4 if the amount of items what? I bin. The amount of available bins different inequality is less than different number. If it's less than 3, satisfied for next check. So if amount of available bins is less than 3, please make 4 bins. Okay, out of wood. Done. So we will have bins. You also need to kind of set up stockpiles so that they don't maybe take too many bins. So for example, this one would now take 9. I don't really want 9 there. Capital C move to 0 and V I can say, you can have a couple there. And in here you can have, I don't know, up to 6, let's say, bins. So at some point the manager will schedule the construction of wooden bins. Bins will be made. Dwarves will automatically realize that some of these stockpiles have no bins on them, and they will then move the bins in the stockpile and move the goods. Look at that, look at that. That already happened. Somebody just went ahead and collected a bunch of rock blocks in a bin. And on this note, with the dwarves hustling and bustling and moving stuff around and finally getting active after all this planning and discussing, I'm gonna end this episode. I'm sorry guys that this one got so explanation heavy, so planning heavy, but I really wanted to get it out of the way. But by the way, this just tells you how I normally play this game. I really want to set an idea from the beginning and then try my best to execute it, and of course watch it go sideways, because that's how things go in the Dwarven realm. Anyway, I want to ensure you that next episode is not gonna be this explanation heavy. There's gonna be a lot more gameplay, and it's already recorded actually. There's a bunch of really nice surprises in store for you, as well as the setup of our first bit of food industry, which is always a really important stuff of any dwarf fortress. That said, thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for all your feedback, and I hope to see you again in the next episode. Alla prossima!